Hello everybody, and welcome back to my beta 11_02 world. And for the past hour or so, I have been working on getting this dug down to the level we need to strip mine at. As you can see, I am at Y11, but technically I'm only at Y10 because back in older versions of Minecraft, specifically older beta and older alpha, your coordinates were taken at your head instead of your feet, like modern or more modern versions. So technically I'm at Y10, but the good thing about this is that usually when I strip mine in columns of 3. So I do 3 Y levels at a time. So basically, all at once, I'm getting everything from Y10, Y11, and Y12. Those are kind of specifically the best layers to mine at least for the longest time before the Caves and Cliffs update. Pretty much instilled that you would get the best amount of resources like diamonds, gold, and redstone. Iron and coal still spawn at those levels, but not as much as they do up towards the surface. So I do think at some point I will probably have a little branch off to strip mine for coal and more iron. But this is good enough for me to get all of the materials that I need. Like I said, iron and coal aren't really found as much below as they are up higher, but you still find a decent amount. Even when you're in positive quadrants, it just helps a lot more because you get a lot more materials. But as you can see, I placed 2 rows of stairs here and kind of left this middle one empty. And the reason I did that is because I'm planning on having a minecart go down so that I can ride the cart down and back up. Kind of a quicker way, and I'll still have stairs here because why not? It looks better than just having, normal blocks. Like I said, I've been working on this and I have been kind of brainstorming some other ideas. And as of right now, my next idea or thing that I just want to get done is a really quick minecart station to the other side, back to kind of my main area. Now, I've mentioned this previously in one of my previous videos. I want every build in this world to kind of be cohesive, and each build kind of rely off of each other. And one thing I do really want to have in this world is lots of minecart tracks kind of going to different areas and different places in the world. And this little mining outpost is going to kind of help me gain a lot of the iron needed for those rails. Because like I previously mentioned, rails are kind of expensive, especially in these older versions. Like I said, there's no Fortune 3, You can't get an abundance of iron as easily as you can nowadays. Mining in positive areas of the world is definitely going to help me gain a lot of iron to kind of help build all these tracks around my world. And I want to start off with making this little minecart station going back to the main section of my world. Now, I don't want this one to be super fancy. I have just a really basic, simple idea. It's not going to have anything crazy redstone wise like I do over there where I have like a minecart launcher booster thing. This, I just want to have a simple little building, a little decoration, and one little booster that you kind of have to push yourself off first to get started. Like I said, nothing crazy. Just keep it kind of basic because over here I don't want to do, too much. I'm sure I'll probably build some other things over here, but I kind of want to just keep this area as a little place to kind of gain some more cobblestone and other ores. Now, I've been kind of going back and forth between little designs of what I want to do. And like I said, I want to keep it very simple. I don't want to go too above and beyond. I kind of want to not overthink it as much as I do other builds. Kind of keep it in line with this mining base. Now, one thing I do want to add though is I want to incorporate somehow a little lava chandelier. I know I used to build them a lot back when I was younger and played a lot on Pocket Edition. I used to make a lot of lava chandeliers, and lava chandelier pretty much is just where you have a layer of glass and right above that's lava, kind of casting light on the area that you want to be lit up. So like I said, I think that's the only main idea that I really want to have with this build. Obviously, this is not the only thing that I want to get done. It's just something that I think would help tremendously, especially when I want to get back and forth pretty quick, because rails are definitely a lot faster than just walking. And this isn't too far from the main base, but it definitely is definitely a little lengths away. Now, as you can see here, I did get a decent amount of cobblestone just from kind of mining down this little staircase. It is a pretty wide staircase. I don't like when things are too shallow. It kind of makes me feel claustrophobic, especially when roofs, like old roofs, I would definitely see a lot of people build like this where it would only be 2 blocks high, and this makes me feel really claustrophobic. I don't know, it's one thing about old Minecraft and even modern Minecraft that I just can't stand when roofs aren't more than 2 blocks tall. It just gets me really claustrophobic. But I want to take some of the stone and I'm going to smelt it up. 8 coal gets you a perfect stack of whatever item you're trying to smelt. But I want to get this smelted up just for the fact that I want to have a little bit of smooth stone to use in this. Going back to the stone, you know, straight away from it with this build, with the wood. But now going back to the roots with the stone. I don't know, personally, in older versions of Minecraft, I really just enjoy any kind of stone or even brick builds. I just find them they look very appealing to the eye. Now, one material that I don't have that I'm just gonna need a little bit of is sand, but, you know, by looking around, I don't think we're gonna be able to find any. You know, I'm kind of thinking about it now. It really wasn't that good of a joke, but it just kind of made me laugh. Already, I'm going to create another furnace. I think I want to have four furnaces in here total. And I'm going to take a few stacks of this just to make some slabs. Now, in case you were wondering, I do have some stone blocks marking out kind of the path that leads to a place of land by the main base. From this little axis, all the way back, it goes straight to the little island right in front of my house. And that little island is actually the spawn island, so I find it only fitting that this will run all the way towards the spawn island. So right here is kind of where I want to have the first track. And right along this center right here is where the front door is going to be. I don't know, this is some kind of simple basic build that I thought of just randomly on a whim. So I figured it'd work pretty well over here. Ooh. Did not expect him to come. Every once in a while, I don't know, especially lately, I keep getting jump scared by these monsters. I think I just get so in the zone that I don't realize they're there, and when they show up, it kind of just really startles me. Kind of makes me look like a wimp, but, you know. I'm sorry, old Minecraft is scary sometimes. I really do need to get this whole entire area lit up. I have kind of like just the basic border of this place kind of lit up, but I really do need to get out here lit up. There's a lots of monsters all the way around, and they kind of just start coming out of nowhere. So one thing that I hate about building at night is that I constantly have to deal with these people getting in my way. I'm constantly fighting something out here. All right, we got a duel. Ooh, can't touch me. Ooh, ooh. I got a little too full of myself there. So this is kind of the main facade of the little building. Like I said, I want to keep it really simple, some minor detail, especially with the slabs and the cobblestone, but I wanted to keep it very simple. You know, in old Minecraft, I do like kind of putting a lot of detail in builds, but I also kind of like the simplicity of things sometimes, you know? Almost in a sense of less is more, you know? The little details like this, I think, go a long way. The interior floor is going to be really simple and just basic oak planks. This is pretty much about the entire entire build right here. Like I said, it's just going to be this little front facade and these walls and the track leading out this way. Not too big of a build, just wanted to have something simple where I could have a little area to get to and from each spot on the world. I feel like today has been a kind of a really relaxing day. I think lately I've had just a very nice time, especially with going on vacation and all that, kind of taking a break from things. But I feel like since I've been back, everything has just kind of gone back to normal, but usually that's how things go. But I feel like lately things have gone back to normal almost tenfold. And I've been working a lot, so I think today is kind of my first day that I've been really just not doing anything. You know, sometimes I get really tired of that, and I don't like to do nothing. It makes me almost feel lazy. But every once in a while, I feel like you need some days off where it kind of is just lazy day. You know, I don't really mind laying around and doing nothing every once in a while. Kind of helps break up the monotony of every day, you know? But today I feel like I could truly enjoy some time to myself and time off since I've been back. You know, in about a week's time, I'm going to be going on another vacation, which, don't get me wrong, I love going on vacation, but it's a lot to kind of get ready for. Obviously, once you're there, most of the time, it's relaxing, but kind of preparing for it really takes a lot. And I think that's kind of in the mode that I've been in, at least recently. Just a lot of time spent preparing for each vacation. And, you know, as much as I do enjoy the time I'm away, I think the time preparing kind of makes me not look forward to it as much as I would like to. But then again, once I'm there, that whole feeling goes away, and I do have a great time. Now, I do have just a little bit of iron here that I got while digging this staircase out. I am going to cook this up because I want to make a couple buckets, and I need to try to find some lava. I think where I want to put the little chandeliers is up top here. I think in here it's perfectly kind of spaced out for it to be like a 3x3 little chandelier. Oh, he didn't give me any pork chops. I'm also recording this video like a day after I finished recording for last video. I think this is like the fastest turnaround that I've had for a video in a while. But the back-to-back recording I don't think has happened for a while. At least not since I started uploading a lot. I don't know. I want to get some videos out before I go on vacation, like I said. So I'm trying to record as much as possible, and I do have quite a bit of ideas for this world, so I'm trying to get some stuff built up and at least mostly finished before I leave to go on this second vacation. I think a problem that I'm having is I'm just starting too many projects and just not finishing anything. I know for a fact I really want to finish the little computer store. That's definitely, I think, one of my favorite builds in old Minecraft, I think. But I do want to get it done. It just needs a lot of materials, and honestly, not even like complicated materials, just the stuff that it needs takes a long time to get. I know there is a way to make an obsidian generator. I am not really sure how you do it, but I think I might look into that and see if I can make one and potentially get enough obsidian to kind of finish at least the outside shell of the building. Now, I don't know if there's any lava lakes around. Lava lakes are kind of one of my least favorite things in Minecraft. That and like the little mini ponds, I just think there's too many of them scattered along the world, and it's not really realistic. Like, yes, there's real ponds in real life, but not as much as Minecraft, and they kind of get in the way, and you constantly fall into them. That's one thing I don't think, in at least this version that I play, I like, but beggars can't be choosers. Speaking of pods, look at this one. Perfectly cut out. I believe this is a 5x5 square here. That's kind of neat. I don't think I've ever seen it form like that before. While walking through here, I am seeing a lot of clay, especially over there, that I want to grab at some point. I'm not going to do it right this second, but I think I will grab it soon. Come here. Ooh, he gave me 2. This is kind of a little neat tunnel through this little hill. This is cool. I do like to collect these mushrooms anytime I can find any. I don't think they spread. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I don't think they spread in this version. Some kind of cool generation, this little hill right here. It's got a little overhang under there. That'd be cool to kind of put something over there. I'm also getting a little disappointed because I don't even know if you guys can see any of this. It's so dark. I might have to turn the brightness up because I can barely even see it. But I'm looking for a lava pond, and I'm not thinking there's any around because usually at night especially you can see them lighting up, but I'm not seeing any. So I might have to make a journey back home because I know home there is a pond. But I don't feel like making multiple trips. It's so dark out here. Like, I actually can't even see where I'm going right now. I don't even know what it looks like on the recording. You know, I have it up on my second monitor and it looks all right, but I don't know. I'm not seeing anything, and I have pretty good brightness on my monitor. I'm kind of walking around. I just wanted to talk about a movie that I recently watched for the first time. It's a pretty popular movie, and I know a lot of people that I know have seen it, but I've never seen it before, so I kind of wanted to give it a try, and it looked really good. But I recently watched My Cousin Vinny. Now, I know a lot of buddies of mine have seen it, and they've talked about it frequently, and they've always kind of tried to persuade me into watching it, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to kind of sit down and watch it, especially because I enjoy watching movies. I don't know, lately I haven't had too much time to watch, especially because I've had a lot going on. You know, usually when I have downtime I like to watch movies, but I finally sat down and watched it the other day, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was funny, and it also made you really think. I'm sure probably a lot of you have heard of it, but in case you haven't, it's pretty much a movie with like Joe Pesci and Ralph Macchio. And if you don't know who that is, you just got to think of Karate Kid. That's Ralph Macchio and Joe Pesci. And the only thing that I could really think of him being in is Goodfellas. But basically, it's a story that these two kids on their way to a college town get accused of murder, pretty much, and they call their cousin Vinny, who is an aspiring lawyer, as you could call it, and they call him in to help represent them on the case. And it's a really good movie. It's kind of an underdog story, you know, which I didn't expect from a movie like this, but there's lots of character growth in it, and I really did enjoy it. The whole story is pretty good. And it is a comedy movie. It's from like the early 90s, so it's kind of like that cheesy comedy, but it's gold. It's pure gold, at least in my opinion. I really did enjoy, and I got quite a few laughs from it. You know, seeing all these mobs spawn over here kind of is making me think that I want to make a passive mob farm at some point. I really don't know anything about them, but I would like to just kind of get an abundance of wool. I kind of usually try to punch sheep anytime I walk past them, but I think if I had a passive mob farm, it would help me get kind of an abundance of it. I don't use it too much in builds, but I like having a stockpile of it just because it's kind of tedious to get. For the most part, it is renewable, but it's a little tedious to get, and I think if I had a passive mob farm, it would just help me get more, and then I could use it for a lot more things. I am gonna walk over kind of the main area right now, try to avoid all these monsters coming after me, and try to get some lava to bring back for the little lava chandelier thing. If I can, you know, not get bombarded by these monsters. Actually, wait, I wonder if I can get a music disc. Ooh. Come on. I tried. I haven't gotten a music disc yet in this world, and I would like to get one, but that right there was the perfect opportunity, and it kind of got wasted. I'm upset about that. In my last video, I kind of tried to mess around with some different background music to use. I used a couple different like Mario 64 or just old video game soundtracks to use that I thought would be pretty fitting to use. I don't know, I do like using an ambient track just because it's something that I really do enjoy, and I do think it makes me feel a little bit more calmer than having like a upbeat music, but I think if I find the right kind of calming old video game soundtrack to use, that I would rather use that instead. But I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence about what I want to use for the background ambient music. The one that I use right now is it's called Dark Ambience with Rain, and it's by Midwich Music, or Midwick. It's one of the two. It's one of the two. But he's got a bunch of different ambient tracks, and he also recreates like Silent Hill soundtracks and stuff like that. One of his biggest inspirations, at least what I can take away from the channel, is Silent Hill music, which in my opinion is one of the greatest music soundtracks of all time. I love that soundtrack so much. All of the games. The first 4 games I think are brilliant. Everything that was done by Akira Yamaoka is, in my opinion, the best soundtrack for all of the games. I think those games especially I do really enjoy. I've played a couple of them, specifically the original Silent Hill 2 and 3 on the PlayStation 2. When I was younger, I had a PlayStation 2 growing up, and I was really into horror and all things like that, so I kind of really got into playing some horror games, especially when I was allowed to. But I played the first 2 on that console, which I wish I still have. I think I do. I think it's just put away in storage. I'll have to find it, because I think that's a great piece of kind of like retro gaming. But I am not sure where it's at. But anyways, I played those 2 games, and when I was a kid, I really did enjoy them. I would like to go back and play them again. But I guess more recently, in the past couple years, I played Downpour, which I think is like the most recent installment besides the remake that just came out, which I have played too, which I thought was amazing. But besides that, I think Downpour is the most recent installment. I know soon they're making some new ones that are coming out. I think the next one coming out is called Silent Hill F or something like that, and it's based in like the 60s Japan, which I'm already all in for. I love Japanese culture and Japan and everything kind of like revolving that. So I'm really excited for this project. They just released a trailer, I don't think not that long ago, and it looks pretty good. I know people, at least fans, aren't happy with the recent quality of the games. They've kind of gone downhill as they've gone from developer to developer, but I don't know. Downpour, which gets hated on a lot, I thought was decently good. I don't think, obviously, it was the best game in the series, but I think compared to things that came before it, it was definitely up there. But I did really enjoy that game. Just a little fun fact about me. I think Silent Hill is probably one of my favorite video game series. I know a lot of people feel the same way, but I also know a lot of people are going to think that's kind of a controversial take, especially because a lot of people grew up with other games, a lot of different franchises out there. But I like I said, growing up, and still even now, I love horror. I love everything about it. Love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, favorite time of the year. But I think Silent Hill has to be my favorite game series, the whole franchise. There has been a couple movies made. I know there was one movie that came out in 2006, which I thought was a pretty good adaptation. And one movie came out in 2012, which I think most fans know kind of better not to talk about. But I do know that they are planning on making another movie coming out by the same director who made the first Silent Hill movie in 2006. So I'm looking forward to that. And I guess the whole story is based on the second game. So I'm really excited for that. Now, I do have to say my favorite game, at least out of the whole franchise, I know all the lore. I just haven't played them, but I know my favorite game as of right now is Silent Hill 3. I love that game. Silent Hill 2 is definitely a second runner-up, but Silent Hill 3, I think, for me, is the most violent out of all of them. I think it's just it relies a lot on horror. It's a very different vibe compared to the rest of the series. You know, I think every game has a different vibe, of course, but the 3 really dives into kind of just the craziness and violence of the other world and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't want to nerd out too much about this, but it's something I really wanted to talk about, especially because I keep seeing trailers and stuff for the new game, and I keep hearing stuff about this movie. I know they released a little like snippet, and some people aren't too happy with the way it looks right now, but I'm giving them some hope. I have some hope, you know. I'm giving them some of the benefit of the doubt, you know. I have some hope for it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I didn't notice before. I don't think I was paying enough attention to this, but it looks like the sand got updated over here from this little pond, and there's a cave right under it, so this is kind of neat. Might have to go under there and see what's down there. Alright, now that I got this lava, I want to get this all placed in here. I am leaving the top exposed, so it'll keep some light up here, so hopefully nothing will spawn because of this, but we'll have to see. Wow, I really like that. I really like how that turned out. I do think I'm just going to add a few torches in here just to light it up just a bit more. This might be torch spam, but like I said, I think this version's a little too dark. Now, I am getting a little bit tired. I have been playing for a while, so I think I'm just going to take a little bit of a break, and then I will come back to this. Alright, so I just took a little break. Sat down, watched a nice kind of old tech YouTube video, and I had some pistachio ice cream. Now, I know that might be a little strange. I don't know. I love pistachio ice cream, but mostly everybody I know really thinks it's weird that I like pistachio ice cream. I don't know, I've always enjoyed it. This ice cream I actually got from Mitchell's Ice Cream. It's kind of a local shop. I'm pretty sure it's a chain, so I think in other areas they have them around. I am not too sure, but it's kind of like that handmade ice cream, and it's very good. I've had this specific pistachio ice cream before, but it's called Toasted Pistachio, and it is one of my favorites. But like I said, for some reason, everybody kind of hates on me for liking it. They kind of think it's gross, which, I mean, it's fair. Everyone has their own opinions, you know, everyone's taste buds are different, but I didn't think it was that controversial. I think anytime I mention that I like pistachio ice cream to people, I kind of get that look. They give me that look of like, ew, why do you like that? But I don't know. I think I've always liked it, especially since I was a little kid. I'm not really one for like chocolatey ice creams. I'm not a big fan of chocolate. At least in recent years, I haven't been a big fan of chocolate. I think my taste buds have changed quite a bit, and I just really can't stand chocolate anymore. I think if I go with ice cream, I go with like a salted caramel or like a butter pecan. I also really like Superman ice cream. I think that's another one of my favorites. It's a very like childish kind of ice cream, but it's one of my favorites. I also really like strawberry and just classic vanilla. It's very basic flavors, but I like those more than... God, they're just coming out of nowhere. But I like those flavors more than any other ice cream. Man, I'm really getting ganged up on right now. Oh, get him! Oh, get him! Get him! Couldn't win against the zombie. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Okay. Did not expect him to be in there. Oh! No! I think he only took out the door and the floor. There's another one! I'm telling you, over here, mobs spawn like crazy. Alright, at least this is an easy fix. And at least I got my door back. I think I need to light up some more around here. I think torch spam is the way to go. I think that's the reason why so many passive mobs are spawning, is because I have so much light over here and it's kind of an empty area. Man, I think this is the most mobs I've ever fought at once. Like, genuinely. They come one after the other. See, I do think the way the code works is if they can't spawn in a specific area, it'll spawn a bunch, like where they can be spawned. So if there's any pockets like over there, it'll push them over there. Like they'll spawn over there. Ugh. See, I can't even explain anything right now. All right, now that the sun is coming up, I want to get this track line extended as much as I can over there. I have a decent amount of cobblestone. I think this is all that I have left. So I'm going to try to use as much of this as I can to get over to the other side. Like I said, every build in this world is kind of cohesive with each other. So any cobblestone that I need, I'm going to get from the quarry. And any iron that I need for any rails, I'm going to get from over here at this mining base. It's kind of cool. I don't know. Not all things have to kind of be cohesive. I still want to have some random builds here and there. But I like having everything have a meaning and work together. I think it makes the world a little bit unique. But I also think it could be unique when nothing has a meaning, Spice it up a little bit. I have some new ideas for videos kind of coming up, especially after I get back from vacation. Like I've been saying, I really want to upload as much as I can, but I think I want to kind of get like a more variety of videos out. One idea that I kind of have right now is some modded Minecraft, specifically like the re-in-dev mod. It's kind of a what-if scenario of classic Minecraft. I have played probably about 5 minutes of it. I've talked about it in an older video on the channel, but I've played about 5 minutes of it, and I think that I want to just wait to play it and make a video of it and kind of go into it blind. I've talked about how I like going into things blind. I think it really adds a lot to my experience. I think everything takes a learning curve, and I think it makes the experience a lot more special than knowing everything about it. So I definitely think that that is what I want to do coming up here in the near future. I obviously want to keep the beta videos, but I think I want to start maybe a new series or a video here and there on kind of the mod pack. There are so many different materials and additions. It keeps with the same theme and vibe of classic in-dev Minecraft, but it's a what-if scenario about things that could have been added, so it adds a lot of its own things, and I think that instead of trying to learn everything about it and then making a video, I'd rather just make a video, go in blind, and try to figure it out. I think that's the best experience, at least for me, and for you guys, would be just to kind of go into it blind and see what I can do. So I definitely think that video is coming at some point. Let me know your thoughts on that. I don't know, I've also thought about playing other games. I'm not too sure. I want to kind of keep the same vibe as Minecraft with the games that I play, and kind of like the laid back type of walkthrough or playthrough. I don't want to go into anything that's too kind of over the top, and I'm definitely not going to play any other games that aren't related to Minecraft. I think I mostly just want a chill experience. But I'm not too sure about that yet. We'll see. That might not happen for the foreseeable future, at least until I can find a game that I would think fits this channel best. But if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. I would love to play any games that you guys enjoy or think would match the vibe of this channel and what I like to do. So I would love to hear if you guys have any games that you would recommend. This took a lot more stone than I actually expected. I didn't realize we were that far away. I mean, it's not insanely far, but I thought it was a little bit closer, at least for the extent of the materials that I had. I thought I would have at least maybe 2 more stacks left of the stone, but I only have pretty much a stack and a half. So I'm definitely gonna need to go mining. Either strip mining for some iron or use the quarry over here to kind of get my materials back up. But now we have a full connection to this other side of my world now. Now I do think with all that being said, I am going to end the video off here. It is a shorter one than my past few videos, but I at least wanted to get some content out before I left for another week. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to have enough time to get out another video to push out while I'm on vacation. But I think for now, this is a good kind of place to leave off on. Definitely moving forward, I am going to continue progress on the little computer store. I want to try to figure out how to build a obsidian generator and kind of get that started so I can get an abundance of obsidian. to have that ready. I'll probably show myself making it if I can figure it out, but we'll see how far I can get with that. Now, one thing I would really appreciate is if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow and will help me continue making videos like this for this foreseeable future. I have a really good time making these videos and I really enjoy putting them out. It's very nice to kind of just have that laid back content to be able to push out, especially when I'm doing stuff that I enjoy, like playing Minecraft. But like I said, I will be gone all of next week, so no video will be out next week, and I do apologize by that. I wanted to get a video out, especially since I didn't want to have a long break like last time. But after I get back, I'm going to use as much time as I have to kind of devote to making more videos and more content. Like I said, I want to probably try to play the Re-Endev mod pack and get some content out with that. I've never played it, so it would be nice to kind of go into something blind and have some good content like that. Also, previously, like I mentioned, I would like to play another game on here, but I just need to find a game that would work with the vibe of the channel. I don't want to just play a random game that doesn't even fit with the kind of videos that I do, but I'm sure I'll probably work something out. Also, another thing, the Discord server is almost done. I've been working on this for so long. I just haven't had time recently to be able to finish it up, but it should be done soon. And like I said, I will have that up for you guys to be able to join and connect with me and other people who kind of enjoy the same things. So look out for that. I'm sorry to keep talking about it, but like I said, I just have not had enough time to be able to work on multiple things. But once I get back from this vacation, I will have plenty of time to kind of devote to different things that I want to do. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.